Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are gonna build our history with the short memory that we have been keeping exchanging with our agent. So the first thing I'm gonna change it is to a question answer here. We'll now have now we're gonna have the memory. Then we'll go to agent, give it the chat memory. Memory service, and we have it here, and now we will get our short the memory from this, and we're gonna pass the context here. So basically we were passing this the user as part of our history, and now we're gonna pass the whole history with the user and the assist exchanging messages. So we would have to build this history here. That's history. And we're gonna call history like this. And let's just go back to our service and make sure we are passing not the doc anymore, but just the user. That's the user is our context now for our answer questions, because we will retrieve the doc that we are passing here from on the short message, on the short memory. So this will be already available inside our agent. So yeah, this will just from the username, you can just retrieve what is the doc for the given question. So let's just get it now. This is the docs. Now we go to the end answer. But the first thing we're gonna need, it is to kind of prepare the history from the short memory. Let's create this. This is a list. It's a list of dictionary, indeed. Not this one yet. Prepare history. Not this yet that I want to build. It'll be something like that. But first, we need to kind of get messages, and you need to contact. Well, and then you're gonna go loop over the short message, but it will have to go this reversed, because you want what is in the bottom to be on the top, and it's reverse when you are dealing with this. The first thing we want here, it is kind of give some limitation. Let's wanna limit forward. We're doing all the message there, so we're gonna limit it for a few messages. So let's say here limit as well. Let's say 5 messages that are gonna be sent as part of the request to our OpenAI API. And so one important thing, it is to kind of check if it is the limit already. If the limit is just breaking down, and the message we're gonna kind of count only user messages. So it'd be important to if the one like this, and if it is to count 0 here, do we want the count here to be +1, and then we just add, if it is the message, if the user message, we just add the message. It's not here that you're gonna keep +2, and here will be just the history. History, and history. No, actually we want the count. It's bigger, equal, just bigger. I stop, then we just count like that. Count, and then we just say history. We want to add it here, add the whole message. This will be just basically to limit the amount of message that will be sent. Another important thing that we're gonna do as well is avoid to have the same doc or context sent twice. So we'll just check if it was that context is already in place. So we're gonna just skip it. And to do that, we need to first get the last message. And we're gonna say history. Just because it's reverse, you can just get the first. Then we're gonna go loop over how the history is keeping the first one. So we start from the one, and then we will basically say if the last message get doc. I think we're calling context is equal to the message context. So we just message context equal empty. So we just remove it. Break it. Yeah, so if you have with this, we remove all the duplicated context basically. Now we need to reverse it back. And return the history. Why you say string? Yeah, think that it. I hope I'm not missing anything. Next step, we're gonna have here the history. We need to build. Here we're gonna actually build the message and the context. And we're gonna say build message contact and pass the history. So here I'm gonna have the message contexts. We're gonna loop over all the history, and we'll basically what is it now? We're gonna check if row user. Come on, these smart messages will be basically if there is user, I'm gonna build context, and if it is not, it will be assistant, and there is no context for assistant. Assistant user, otherwise get it empty. And yeah, basically that, I think. With it, to have message and in contact messages, it's important to we basically str messages. We're gonna kind of 2 lines messages str contact. It'd be like this, and strs message will be in history here. Str contacts would be on the here contact, and that should be basically it. Try basically let me add a breakpoint. The messages the user say, can you book a class? And the contact, yeah. Okay, now you're gonna ask something else. At what time are the BGG classes? So the contact, you can see that it's empty the first because it's talking about BGG and you have already one contact here document about it, and the message itself should appear yeah, user can book a class. Can you book a class was the first one. Then the assistant said, of course. And then I asked about the BGG classes. And yes, perfect. Let's just see the string of it, how it's being built. The string, it is actually correct. So what it is, the latest message have to be on the bottom, right, as a chat, and it's actually working properly. That's basically how it works to do a short-term memory, and it's not anything sophisticated. You always have to kind of pass the whole history as part of the request, so the API would be stateless. Okay, so next lecture we are gonna implement the long-term memory, which will require a new agent, and it will be a lot of fun. See you next lecture.